Okay, YouTubers, this is the Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching the Angry Truth channel. Now, this situation, guys, and this kind of behavior is only going to get worse if it continues to go unchecked. So for some of you that might not have heard, or maybe you heard of it, hopefully you should be learning about this and knowing about this kind of shit that's starting to pop up. But there's a adult spa in Atkinson, New Hampshire. It's a small town in New Hampshire that's opening up a adult spa that's called a diaper spa. And the diaper spa, believe it or not, are a bunch of adults who like to wear diapers and role play being a baby or a small child wearing a diaper. And they have actual, God, they have actual changing tables for these fucking people. I don't understand why this is being allowed. I'm not sure why this doctor who's opening up this facility is opening up the facility. I mean, she gave the worst BS excuse I've ever heard, and why she's doing it, because it's to help these people with past traumas that they had when they were a kid, or abandonment issues that they had when they were a kid. Now, according to a study that's being done in Italy, this is a recent, as they put it, phenomenon. There's nothing phenomenal about this. It's not a phenomenon. It's not a trend. It's not a thing that's going to pass. It's a psychological condition that needs to be checked. That's it. And not through way of a therapist or a psychologist. I'm talking about putting these people in a psych institution and leaving them there. Take them to Shady Acres and lock them up and throw away the key. Anybody, guys, who wants to take a shit in a diaper and have their ass wiped and changed by an adult, there's a fucking problem. This is only going to get worse. Now, people who are doing this are also identifying as younger kids, 2, 3, 4, 5 years old. There's even, and I've done this in the past, there are people who were doing this diaper changing thing even before the spa was created, made, or built. And I did a video on that a few months ago, maybe a year ago. I'm going to put it here. Guys, the psychological breakdown of humanity has been going on for a while. And like the study in Italy said, this is a recent phenomenon, or a recent trend, if you will, or a recent psychological illness that popped up. Now, people have been doing this for years, but this has become a really recent thing within the last 20 years. I haven't heard or seen it before that. Maybe it was happening, and it's just now making it to the outside world because of, porn and TV and internet and phones and all this other shit. There's more of this circulating now. Maybe that's it. Nonetheless, guys, there's an absolute psychosis breakdown of the human race, and I think it's across all boards. Now, this is something that I thought was just here in the United States, but apparently it's in the UK as well. It's definitely in the UK, sorry, because of that guy who likes to pretend to be a 9-year-old girl, though he's not wearing a diaper. That's something different. But there are people in the UK that are wearing diapers and pretending to be babies and wanting their loved ones to change them. In fact, some people, they role play this with other people. So they might not role play it with their husband and their wives, but they role play with somebody who's willing to role play with them in that regard. Now, for a lot of people who role play that, they do not have sex. From a lot of what I read, a lot of these people don't have sex. They just like people wiping their bottoms and I don't know. I don't know about the burping part, but all I know that it's kind of sick. And if you dive deep into this, which you shouldn't, this is what I'm here for. You dive deep into this, there's definitely a psychological issue, but a lot of doctors, or some doctors, are trying to make that connection that it's a parental thing. Now, the Italy study, like I said before, guys, they're diving into it. They're trying to see why this is such a recent thing. They're trying to come up with why people are doing this, and if there's any psychological trauma behind it that's causing these adults to act like this. Now, the doctor in New Hampshire is Dr. Colleen Ann Murphy. She's the owner of the spa. As of right now, they're looking to get permits to get the spa open. Now, the spa is open, but they're not open yet. Sorry, they have to get their permits and license first, and they're meeting a lot of backlash because this is online. And interestingly enough, guys, obviously mainstream media doesn't want to talk about this. Smaller media outlets are talking about this, and they're getting a lot of backlash. And even the people in the town are like, "What the hell is this? They didn't know what it was. Now they do, so there's got to be some pushback, and they're probably not going to get their permits. So maybe they will. I mean, it's New Hampshire. They could get some shit open like that in New York and California without batting an eyelash. But why New Hampshire? I'm not sure. But anyway, nonetheless, guys, this doctor is stating it's for therapeutic reasons. You got to do something better. You got to do something different. Having adults play and role play into this is disgusting. One. Two, you have adults playing into the fact that they're babies. You have adults saying that they identify with being 2 and 3 years old, and that's the reason for them wearing a diaper. You have adults identifying with being little girls, men being little girls. You don't see too many women pretending to be little boys, but you see a lot of grown-ass 60, 50, 30, 40-year-old men pretending to be little girls, and that they identify with that so that they can play with other little girls. And there are parents that are allowing their kids to play with these adults that identify with a younger age. Those parents should definitely be hit with a ball-peen hammer, but let's not go there. These people are sick, and it's getting worse, and people are playing into their psychosis by opening up day spas that allow them to role play at this manner. Now, right now, it's just a diaper for changing facility is what it is for adults. They do allow people to role play to be young kids. I don't know what the age limit is, and I don't know if they're going to have an age limit. But imagine having a place in your neighborhood that allows grown-ass men and women to role play being little kids. Where does that stop? Now, again, the doctor said it was for therapeutic reasons, but the Italian study is looking at it from another angle. Now, according to the Italian study, this is their objective, if you will, on what they're looking for. Background of the study, guys. Knowledge of the adult baby diaper lovers, ABDL, phenomenon is quite recent, and there are, of yet, few studies on this phenomenon. Their aim. This study was conceived to investigate the function of the ABDL behavior and the characteristics of ABDL in an online Italian community sample. We hypothesize that ABDL phenomenon was associated with the general psychological maladjustment and with an experience of parental rejection during childhood. So they're trying to sit there and say that they could have past traumas from their childhood and or their parents rejected them, and this is why they're behaving this way. I don't give a fuck what their excuse is, because there have been plenty of people since the dawn of time that have been rejected by their parents. They didn't decide to one day, let's say in the 1800s, talk about still wearing diapers. The cavemen didn't decide who were rejected by their parents and left on their own to decide to still walk around with a pacifier, whatever the fuck they used back then, and acted like children well past their age, unless they were legitimately retarded. That's a different ballgame. Being slow, special needs, whatever you want to call it, that's an entirely different ballgame. That's another field. That you can't even talk about a touch, because they have legitimate issues. But a grown man who wakes up one day and goes, you know what? I'm going to wear a diaper. Matter of fact, I'm going to wear a diaper. I'm going to take a shit in it, and I want somebody else to clean my ass. That's the kind of shit that we're faced with this day. People making the conscious decision to be a fucking asshole and be a dirty fucking asshole and be a dirty, creepy fucking asshole. It's insane that they wake up and think of this shit. Women going, you know what? I want my husband to clean my ass tonight and feed me baby food, because there is a chick that's doing that. Insanity, guys. Insanity, and it's only getting worse, and we're not addressing it the way we should address it. We're addressing it in the fact that, well, everybody, like this to each his own bullshit, this is why we're in the boat we're in, because of that to each his own philosophy. To each his own, as long as it doesn't harm me. Look where we are now. It is harming society. It is harming the human race. If the shit doesn't get checked, it gets worse. If it gets worse, the human race gets worse. This is how it works. I've always been a fan of something bad was going to come out of that to each his own bullshit. I remember when I said it when I was younger, but the older I got, I'm like, to each his own is a bullshit, lazy excuse on why people don't want to deal with other people's bullshit. Well, that's their problem, not mine. It is becoming our problem because we are seeing what to each his own and let alone looks like. It looks like this. Anyway, guys, this is The Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching the Angry Truth channel.